My name is Mary Schiller, and I am an author and a coach. I got married the first time when I was 22 to someone who turned out to be incredibly abusive and violent. I had no clue about that before we got married, and it literally materialized about 4 hours after we said I do. And I kind of went into a state of shock and self-preservation mode. I managed to escape that marriage with my life, and it really was an escape about 7 years later. And by that point, things had escalated quite a bit. And I also had a daughter who was 2, and I needed to get her out of there. As a result of all of that, I was diagnosed with post-traumatic stress disorder at age 29, I guess, right after I left the marriage. And I had actually been seeing a lot of different mental health professionals even while I was married, because I knew something was wrong in the marriage, but believe it or not, I didn't really understand what was going on. It was not obvious to me at the time. I continued to seek different kinds of treatment over the years, and nothing was really very helpful to me at all. There was a constant feeling of anger and jealousy. I was angry that somebody had chosen to harm me in this way and that I couldn't do anything about it. And I was also just jealous of other people who hadn't had something like that happen to them. And I really felt like my life had been stolen from me at age 22, and that there was nothing I could do to get it back because I couldn't rewind time and undo all of that. So in 2014, I had completed a very intense and lengthy process with a specialized psychotherapist. I had about 12 months of feeling good, and then everything just started tanking like really quickly. And here I am back in the same place that I was, and I was really mad. I was like, okay, I guess I'm just gonna have to accept that my life is awful and make the best of it. Then I ran across the 3 principles and watching a video of someone online who was talking about a book, Michael Neal's Inside Out Revolution. I actually listened to the book and heard something in there. It was really different from other things that I had heard over the years. The first thing that I heard after listening to the book 2 or 3 times was that there actually wasn't anything wrong with me. Now, to say that that was a big moment would be putting it mildly. By that point, I was like 52 or something. I'd lived with that mental illness diagnosis all that time. And to realize that the only thing that was going on was that I was listening to some weird thinking. And I had the option to just ignore it and not even worry about it. It was like, what? Why didn't somebody tell me this before? You know? And it was such a simple realization. And that plus the news, if you will, that my ex-husband hadn't actually done anything to me. You know, stuff had happened. I wasn't like going into denial or something about, incidents that had occurred. But I saw very clearly that he hadn't done anything to me as a human being, because I'm not contained within this body or even this mind. I don't even know how to describe that, but we're bigger than that. And I didn't have to worry about any of the stuff that had happened. And it started to really transform the way I saw my first husband and everything that had occurred. And this was all very quick, I might add. This was probably over the span of about a month. And it was amazing how quickly I started to feel better without actually doing anything. No more techniques to manage the way I was feeling, and the symptoms just faded away on their own. It felt like somebody had waved a magic wand over me.